What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite for a very special video where we're going to be talking about some exclusive content updates that I managed to help reveal when I cameoed on the recent COD POD episode. We're also going to be talking about what you can expect during the second half of the beta, and we're also going to go through Treyarch's recent statement about skill-based matchmaking, as they have responded to all the community feedback following the release of the open Moshpit. Definitely stay tuned. Now, in the coming days, I do plan on dropping my full COD Next 2025 vlog. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that you guys didn't get to see as of a few days ago, so you're not going to want to miss this one, and it was an absolute blast filming. But just earlier this afternoon, as a complete surprise on day 3 of the beta, Treyarch introduced the open Moshpit. It has reduced, or I guess you could say very limited, matchmaking restrictions to the point where you're queuing into lobbies pretty quickly, and skill also isn't a big factor when you matchmake. This is something that I want to say folks have been waiting on for the last 5 or so years. I made a dedicated video talking about the recent patch notes, which I'm going to link down below. Treyarch saw all of our excitement and positive reception to this update, in which they ended up saying the following: "We're excited to see the response to today's open Moshpit change with classic matchmaking where skill is minimally considered. As a reminder, we're always listening to our community. As many of you have noted, we continue to prioritize updates and why we're making them based on player feedback. Beta is all about trying things, gathering data, and being part of the community dialogue. We look forward to sharing more in-depth takeaways from the beta on the road to launch, including more on matchmaking and, listen to this, how we keep players together." So tomorrow's the beginning of the open period where you don't need a pre-order or a code to actually jump in, regardless of your platform. And that's great. We'll be streaming again, taking a look at the brand new content, new maps, modes, and some other stuff that we'll circle back to in a second. But notice how they mentioned how we keep players together. I feel like that could be a hint for something that we've also been asking for and also gave feedback about behind the scenes at COD Next, which is the removal of disbanding lobbies. Modern Warfare 2 announced it, Modern Warfare 3 actually tried it, but it's been radio silence ever since. MW3 had that feature in for maybe a full season, maybe a bit less, where after you finish a match, you have the option to just stay in the lobby that you were in, which I know is kind of redundant if a bunch of people end up backing out, which kind of breaks the matchmaking a bit. But if everybody decides to stay, then that could also be a big component in quote-unquote reducing SBMM. But I think today's change with the open Moshpit was the biggest step forward possible. Reducing disbanding lobbies or getting rid of that altogether would just be the cherry on top. Now, I feel like people still need to remember that players have just gotten better at FPS games over the years, and the goalpost is going to keep moving as to what is quote-unquote wrong with Call of Duty. People have already started moving the conversation to EOMM, which I get it, it's a valid concern. Aim assist, that's a big one for those that are playing on mouse and keyboard and feel like they're at a disadvantage. There are some valid concerns that still need to be addressed, but hey, if they can tackle these one by one over the next few weeks before the launch of the game, then I'm open to it. Now, with the beginning of open access for the multiplayer beta, it does look like we're going to be seeing Search and Destroy added in, which might actually be in the core Moshpit right now. I just haven't been able to look, but that's been confirmed as a bonus mode that a lot of people were asking for in several recent Call of Duty betas over the years. And we're also going to see the 2 multiplayer maps, Toshin, which is gorgeous in Tokyo, and Balakar, a map that plays really well, especially with the wall jumping. I had a blast playing those over at COD Next. You guys really love seeing some footage of them, so hopefully you guys enjoy playing them just as much when they end up going live, I believe tomorrow. But don't forget, limited access to the survival beta for zombies will come to an end on October the 7th, 2 days before the entire beta ends. Could they extend access? Absolutely. I'll keep you guys in the loop whenever we get brand new patch notes, as we're going to be streaming every single day this week. But over at COD Next, I was asked to actually cameo on the recent COD POD episode where I was able to ask Matt Scrons a couple of specific questions about multiplayer. Now, I wasn't able to ask questions about, let's say, campaign, Warzone, or, of course, zombies, but still, I think even though multiplayer is the mode that we know the most about and is just the least mysterious mode of the bunch, there were still a couple of questions that I felt were worth asking. One of them didn't actually make it into the cut, which is totally cool because it was kind of a lengthy one, and they wanted to make sure that the questions were as short as can be. I first asked about whether or not we'll get post-launch overclock upgrades to existing items in the game. It's pretty obvious that during the post-launch cycle, we're going to be getting new score streaks and, let's say, new pieces of equipment, lethals, tacticals, field upgrades. So we'll end up seeing new overclocks through those new items, but what about the existing items in the game? Could we actually see more? That wasn't answered, but I'm sure we'll figure that out once Season 1 ends up rolling around in the next couple of weeks. But a burning question that I've had that I know a lot of you guys were also wondering is whether or not some of the post-launch multiplayer maps for BO7 are also going to include DLC maps from the Black Ops 2 or 3 life cycles. Hell, DLC maps from any Black Ops game really, because there's a lot of underappreciated DLC maps that have come out in the last decade. I mean, I'm thinking of Drive-In, for example. That was from BO1. It was great to see it back in Cold War. Will we be seeing any remastered multiplayer maps from the DLC season of Black Ops 2 or 3?
Yes.
Wow, these are so easy.
Yeah. I'm not going to give away any details. I will give a little bit of an Easter egg. There is one that is atop a roof.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was a DLC map on top of a roof.
Yep.
And I'm going to leave it there.
So there's the clip, and a map that immediately came to mind was Vertigo. This is a sleeper DLC map from what I believe was the second half of the Black Ops 2 life cycle, a map that's also never been remastered before. As I was saying earlier, there are so many great DLC multiplayer maps that usually get overshadowed because of some of the core launch maps in Black Ops history that typically get favored and remastered first, and then before you know it, that current Call of Duty's life cycle is over and there's no real time to ever really revisit a lot of the great DLC maps from over the years. Can't even imagine folks falling off of the map when doing a bit of a wall jump, or what some of the score streaks could be like on a map this open. Now, while the roof kind of exposed most of the interior, there was still a really nice area in the center, which I think also played great for objective modes, even game modes like Search and Destroy. But I want you guys to leave some comments down below about other DLC maps that could even be from, let's say, Black Ops 3, even 4, maps that you do think would fit well with the Black Ops 7 gameplay loop. So it was awesome to be a part of a little exclusive that helped reveal another multiplayer map coming to the game. Matt Scrons previously teased Meltdown and Yemen as maps that may end up supporting comp once ranked play rolls around for Black Ops 7 as well. So that's 3 DLC maps that we already know about, whereas at COD Next, they confirmed that we're going to be seeing 7 new multiplayer maps from the preseason till the end of Season 1. Obviously, we could put 2 and 2 together. During the preseason, we'll get Nuketown 2025 Remastered. That leaves 6 maps to go, so I guess that confirms 6 MP maps for the first season of content. So what I'm betting is that by Season 1, we'll probably get 3 remastered maps from Black Ops 2 and 3 completely original maps. You guys might not agree with that. You guys might want all fully original maps, but the thing is, there's so many bangers from Black Ops 2 and 3 that definitely deserve to get either reimagined with new scenery or just remastered 1-to-1. I really wouldn't mind. I also hope a map like Cove also comes back, considering Hijacked is. Maybe they could redesign Cove a little bit, because back in BO2, those maps took place not too far from one another. But the other question that came to mind was regarding Easter eggs in multiplayer maps. Now, something that I think Infinity Ward did really well with their gunfight maps in Modern Warfare 19 was introducing mini quests that you can do that would trigger a pretty big reward or something that would spawn in the distance. Well, I think considering we have a Black Ops game on the way, there's a lot of possibilities of what Easter eggs could be like inside of multiplayer maps, whether you include zombies, whether you include something trippy around all the mindfuckery. Will we be seeing any Easter eggs in any of the multiplayer maps?
Of course. Like, we are Black Ops. We're all about the secrets. We're all about the spies and the thrillers and the Easter eggs and the redacteds and the dark ops. But again, it wouldn't be an Easter egg if I told you about it. That's not how those work.
Yeah, there's one map in particular that we might have announced today at Call of Duty Next that comes top of mind.
One of the OG Easter eggs.
That's Nuketown, folks. Stay tuned.
I was going to say, it had to be Nuketown, right?
It's always got to be Nuketown.
It's always got to be Nuketown. That's great.
The answer is always Nuketown.
It's always Nuketown.
As Matt Scrons did tease, we're going to be seeing a classic Easter egg, which we all know what that means, over in Nuketown 2025. The Black Ops 2 Nuketown Easter egg did require us to shoot out those mannequin heads, but we were able to play some classic Activision games on the Nuketown sign. Maybe they'll do something similar to that again, or something different entirely, while still in the ballpark of what we saw back in BO2. But even a map like Warhead for Strike in BO6 actually allowed us to detonate that nuke, no pun intended, and it was only available in private matches, but it was still cool to see just a little Easter egg added to a very small multiplayer map, hoping to see more things like that, especially in Black Ops 7. But folks, big shout out to the entire COD POD team, Matt Scrons himself, and everybody behind the scenes that actually approved the questions that I asked, because I was happy to at least bring some material to the table during that creator Q&A so that we can get some exclusive tidbits to be excited about. But it's always been on the bucket list to do a Bombshell x COD POD collab of some sort, and hopefully you guys are happy with the responses. Now that is about it. This has been DK Dynamite. Leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your current thoughts on the multiplayer beta for Black Ops 7? Are you liking the open Moshpit? I do plan on recording a live com that I'll probably post on the second channel at some point tomorrow. We're going to be live streaming, grinding through all the new content. They're going to increase the level cap. We'll have new rewards to get. But most importantly, let me know how you guys are feeling about the COD pod responses, the confirmation of a map called Vertigo, and also the teaser of another Nuketown mannequin Easter egg. With that being said, really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.